Okay, let's dive in. It's Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. And looking at the stack of sources we've got here, it really feels like we're watching a collision.
A collision, that's a strong word for a Wednesday morning.
I know, maybe it's a bit dramatic, but it feels like a confrontation. I mean, think about it. On one side, you've got this glossy, super efficient future we've been promised. We have reports here on agentic AI. And this stuff isn't just chatting anymore. It's like running businesses.
It's acting. That's the shift for this year, right? We're out of the novelty phase and into the action phase of AI.
Exactly. But then you slam that right into this messy, complicated, very human reality. We have a massive DOJ document dump that's blowing up UK politics. We have a criminal investigation into X over in France. It's getting really, really serious.
It's this fascinating duality. You have tech trying to create order and this idea of groundedness, which we should definitely dig into.
Oh, for sure.
And at the same time, you have these legacy institutions, these famous people facing this just chaotic wave of accountability.
So that's the mission for today's deep dive. We're going to explore how 2026 is the year where AI stops just talking and really starts acting. And then we're going to look at the fallout from that action, whether that's in a boardroom, a courtroom, or, a farm in Zambia.
It's a lot of ground to cover.
Let's start with the business stuff, the 2026 AI Trends Report. This came from a LinkedIn breakdown we pulled. And the headline is pretty bold. It basically says, the era of generative AI as we knew it, over. We're in the era of AI agents.
Right.
Now, agent sounds like something out of a spy movie to me. What are we actually talking about here?
It's less the Matrix and more like a hyper-efficient intern who never sleeps. See, for the past few years, the whole wow factor was generation. You'd ask a bot to write a poem or draw a picture. It was fun.
It was a novelty, a party trick.
Precisely. But an agent is designed to do things. It executes tasks. So it doesn't just write an email for you. It opens your calendar, finds a slot, drafts the invite, sends it, and then checks for conflicts.
So it's a difference between a tool you talk to and a tool you assign work to.
That's it, exactly. And the report highlights 5 ways this is hitting businesses right now. The first one is peak productivity.
Which, let's be honest, sounds like some classic corporate buzzword stuff.
It does, but the implication is about one person being able to do the work of like an entire department. But the second point is the one that really matters for everyone to get: grounded agentic systems.
Grounded. Okay, I saw that term a few times. It sounds like we're punishing the AI.
In a way, you are. Look, the biggest problem with early AI was hallucinations, right? It just made stuff up.
Yeah, with total confidence.
Grounded means the AI is tethered to reality, specifically your reality. It's running your business based on your verifiable, factual data. It can't just creatively invent 5,000 widgets that don't exist because it would make a report look better.
So it creates a boundary. It stops the AI from being a creative writer.
Yes. It forces the AI to check its work against a ground truth, which is usually your company's own database, before it acts. And that ties right into the third trend: concierge-like experiences.
Hyper-personalization for customers.
Right, because the AI is grounded in their data. It knows exactly who you are. It's not guessing. So it can offer service that feels really human and intuitive, but it can do it for millions of users at once.
Okay, the fourth point in the report, I gotta admit, it freaked me out a little. Moving security from alerts to action.
Why'd that scare you?
Well, usually if there's a breach, a human gets an alert and then they decide what to do. This sounds like the AI just handles it.
But that's the thing. In 2026, it has to. If a cyber attack hits at 3 a.m., by the time a person wakes up and logs in, the damage is already done. An AI agent can quarantine the threat and patch the system in milliseconds. It fixes the problem instead of just reporting on it.
That action theme again. And the fifth point was about upskilling people, teaching them on the fly.
Yeah, like a tutor on your shoulder. But let's look at a real example of this grounded tech. The source stack mentions NotebookLM a lot.
Right, Google's platform. It's been making waves. It uses Gemini 1.5 Pro. So break this down for me. What makes it different from just firing up ChatGPT? Why is this a better example of an agent?
It's that grounding concept again. NotebookLM uses a technique called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Okay, stop. We promise no jargon without an explanation. Explain RAG to me like I'm, a moderately intelligent 10-year-old.
Okay. Imagine you have a huge history test. A standard AI is like a student who memorized the entire library but isn't allowed to bring any books into the exam. They might remember a lot, but they might also get dates mixed up or even hallucinate a war that never happened.
Right. Pure memory, no notes. I follow.
ARI is an open book test. You give the AI a specific stack of your books, your PDFs, your meeting transcripts, and you say, answer the question using only these books.
So it isn't just pulling from the Wild West of Wikipedia or Reddit.
Exactly. It almost eliminates hallucinations because its entire world is limited to the trusted sources you provided. If the answer isn't in your documents, it's designed to say, I don't know.
Instead of just making something up. That is a massive shift for business.
It turns the AI from a creative writer into a super reliable research assistant. It even cites its sources for you. That is what grounding really is.
Now, speaking of digital worlds, we should talk about the metaverse. I feel like we've declared the metaverse dead and then alive again about 10 times. But the source material from Mpelembe Insights says 2026 is seeing a comeback.
It is, but the engine is different now. The metaverse sort of failed before because it was empty. It was so hard to build 3D worlds. It took thousands of human hours just to design one building.
And now?
Now, AI is the intelligence catalyst. It does all the heavy lifting. Automated 3D modeling, creating textures, simulating weather and traffic. It makes the virtual space feel alive without a person having to code every single raindrop.
Something that caught my eye in the notes was accessibility. I mean, that's usually an afterthought in tech.
It's a huge growth area here. The AI can translate visual stuff into audio descriptions in real time for visually impaired users.
Wow.
Or do instant speech to text for the hard of hearing. It just opens the door for millions of people who were completely locked out before.
But like we said at the top, high-tech meets messy reality. And looking at the sources, I don't think it gets messier than the AVN Expo in Las Vegas.
That was a surprising file in the research pile, I will admit. But when you read it, it makes perfect sense.
It paints such a vivid picture. You've got this huge expo. It's basically the Oscars for the adult entertainment industry.
Huh?
And the description is wild. You have all the normal corporate stuff people in line for coffee, wearing lanyards, complaining about the Wi-Fi.
While being surrounded by, an industry built on very explicit content.
Right. But the real tension isn't about nudity. It's about technology. This industry seems terrified of AI.
It's an existential crisis for them. The adult industry has always been a tech pioneer, Streaming video, online payments, they were first on all of it. But AI agents can generate hyper-realistic content without any human actors.
So there's this friction. They need the grounded business AI for their logistics, but the generative AI threatens their whole model.
And the deepfake issue there is just massive. They're trying to figure out how to use the tools without, basically making themselves obsolete. It's a perfect microcosm of that broader fear. Will the agent replace the worker?
Okay, speaking of logistics, let's pivot to something a little more.
Yeah.
PG. We have this smart travel planner from MappyBiz. This feels like another one of those agents out in the wild.
It's a perfect consumer example. The whole shift here is from planning to doing.
Right, because now if I want to book a trip, I spend like 5 hours on Expedia, another 3 on Airbnb. I've got 17 tabs open.
And that's all just information gathering. This tool, it analyzes your budget, your preferences, your past trips, and then this is the key. It automates the booking. It doesn't just show you a hotel. It says, I found a hotel in your price range. It has a pool, and I can book it for you right now.
It takes away the friction.
It takes away the decision fatigue.
Okay, so that's the shiny side of action. The AI books your trip, secures your server. But now we have to talk about the dark side. Because while AI is acting, legal systems are reacting. And they are reacting hard.
This is where that transatlantic standoff over regulation is really boiling over.
Let's talk about France. The investigation into X, formerly Twitter.
Yeah.
This isn't just a fine. The cybercrime division of the Paris prosecutor's office has taken this to a whole new level.
It started fairly small, didn't it? A lawmaker named Eric Bothorel was worried about the algorithm, but it's just snowballed. And what's interesting is that the trigger seems to have been X's own AI chatbot, Grok.
So the AI agent is at the center of the story again.
Exactly. Grok was accused of generating and spreading sexual deepfakes and claims denying the Holocaust. Now, in the U.S., that might get tangled up in First Amendment debates. But in France, those are crimes.
And the list of accusations here is heavy. Complicity in distributing child pornography, data fraud, and they actually raided the X offices.
They did. They searched the premises in France, and they've issued a summons to Elon Musk.
Wow. This feels like a turning point. We've always had this idea that platforms aren't responsible for user content, Section 230 and all that.
Yeah.
But is France saying the platform is responsible for what the AI posts?
That is the billion-dollar legal question right there. If an AI generates illegal content, who's the criminal?